What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ace here. A couple things before I get into this video. I figured out how to fix the audio so it doesn't sound like I have a fucking voice changer on anymore, so that's good. I want to let y'all know you've been running up that music video on my main channel, so I'm glad that's going. This is gonna be on the second channel. This will be the first video on there, so if you haven't, be sure to subscribe and run this channel up too. I didn't want to cross the music and the stories on the same channel just in case YouTube has some algorithm fuck up and it destroys the other channel. Anyway, not important. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching the video, and let's get into this. So this all starts around the time about 2019. I was 19 years old. At the time, I didn't have a car that was working. I had this Audi it had a lot of issues, and then it stopped running. And then I got this Mustang from a friend, but it wasn't drivable at that point. So I was driving my dad's truck, and he had gotten into a car accident like 2 or 3 weeks before this story taking place. So at the time, I was doing a lot of stuff for the family. Like, I had to go get groceries. This truck exactly wasn't running the best either. So what ended up happening is I had left the house on this day, and I was going to the Quick Trip. For those of you who don't know, it's a Midwestern gas station that has like food and all kinds of shit that you can get there. It's basically like a little grocery store. But anyway, I went there and I was pumping up the tires using the air pump which they had on the side for truckers that would stop there and get food and get gas and diesel and stuff like that. But after I had left this Quick Trip, I was driving up the street and I was taking off at a light, and it wasn't like this truck didn't take off very well. I think it only had 2 gears at the time. The transmission was like leaking fluid and shit. So I mean, you got to keep in mind I had to get shit done at the time, so it's not like I could you know get the car to a working condition. I had to get food. I had to get my dad's meds and shit like that after the car accident. So what ended up happening was I was taking off from this light, and this truck took off very slowly. So I'd go up to 10, then it would switch into second, and then I would go on from there. I think this truck only went about 30 or 40 miles an hour. It wouldn't go any quicker than that. But what happened was I was going up to 10, and then I heard a noise, and it was like and like it didn't go anymore. Like, it would rev, but the truck wasn't gaining any speed. So I pulled over to the side, and I get out, and I'm looking under it, and there's like a fucking fire under it, and I was like, oh shit. So I get out the truck, and I shut the door, and I'm calling my dad, and my dad's like, dude, what the fuck are you calling me for? Like, call the fire department or like the cops or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm fucking retarded. So I pull up my phone again, and I'm calling 911, and I'm like, yo, I got a truck that's on fire here. I don't know if it's like about to go higher or like any shit like that, because I didn't know what was going on at the time. So like I get off the phone with the fire department. They're like, okay, we'll be on our way. And like, I'm standing way off to the side because I'm not trying to get burnt up and shit. And this shit's fucking flaming, dude. I'm sure I'll have a picture for the thumbnail, and I'll probably throw up a picture on the screen when I'm editing this, because I do have videos or pictures of it. But yeah, this shit was crazy. So like, cops came up, they blocked off the entire street, and like, again, I'm still standing off to the side, and like the cops are standing with me, and we're just watching this shit go up in flames, and it's like smoking out the whole neighborhood. I'm like, shit, man. So yeah, before the fire department even shows up, the fucking cops take me to the side, and they're like putting me in cuffs and shit, and they put me in the back of this squad car, and I was like, why the fuck are you guys arresting me? And they're like, oh, we need to do an internal investigation and make sure you didn't do this on purpose. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Why the fuck would I pull over on the side of the street and light my fucking truck up on fire and then call the cops? So anyway, I'm sitting in the back of this fucking police car. Fire department finally shows up, and they put the shit out. They had to cut open the hood because it was latched shut, and they weren't gonna go inside of the truck to pop it. The fucking tires were popping and shit on the truck. It was loud. But yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, the fire got put out, and I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and the fucking cops asking me questions like, how did this happen? And, what were you doing? And what caused it. And I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. I literally just took off at a light. The shit made a noise. I look under it and it's on fire. So I called the fucking fire department and then you guys showed up. And he's like, oh, that makes a whole lot of sense. Let's, we're still looking into it and everything. But, who would you like us to call? And I'm like, well, first off, I'm an adult, so I don't know who the fuck you want. Second off, I mean, you could call my dad, but it's not like he's coming anywhere out here because he had a broken leg at the time, so I don't know what the fuck you want. But anyway, so after like 30 minutes goes by, I'm still sitting in this fucking cop car, and they're like, okay, we concluded that it wasn't you. And I'm like, oh, really? No fucking shit. So they called a tow truck, and they got the truck towed to this side road that was like a street or two over from my apartment complex. So they let the shit sit there, and then the cop dropped me off at my apartment. So I go upstairs and I'm sitting down, and I told my dad the fucking truck burnt down, and he's like, hey man, it is what it is. So I was like, well shit, now I don't have a car. But I mean, it is what it is. Eventually I did end up fixing the Mustang that I had gotten, and that drove, but that's not the end of the truck story. So that truck was fucked after that. Like, we weren't fixing it. It wasn't gonna be like, running again. Like, shit was burnt up, the tires were fucking exploded and all that shit. But it was my dad's work truck at the time. So a couple days later, me and my stepmom had to go out there and clean the whole fucking truck out, all these tools, hoses, and all this other shit. And we opened up the fucking truck. It smelled like a fucking barbecue in there. Not good. Like, it was burnt to shit. I mean, the tools were good, but it smelled horrible. So yeah, we got all the tools and everything out. We had to fucking bring it into this storage locker that we had. But at the end of the day, we called the scrapyard, and they ended up picking it up. I think they gave us like $300 to $500. I don't really specifically remember how much they gave us, but they gave us a decent chunk to where my dad was like, okay, I don't care that much. Yeah, moral of the story, if some shit happens, make sure you got a car that is decent enough and it's not gonna fucking explode on you when you're going to the grocery store, cause that was a hell of a day, and I'm glad I'm still here. I didn't get hurt or anything from it, but that shit was fun. Anyway, if you guys like the video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're not already. Like I said, this is my second channel that I'm telling stories and shit on now. I do make music as well. Search up Acella on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, any of that shit. I just had a song come out. I did a music video. It was called The Old Days. I think it's at like 150 views right now. Be sure to run that shit up. Leave a comment on this video. And yeah, I'm glad, this channel's growing and shit. Me and my friends got shit that we're working on. We might have a podcast coming out soon. We're doing other music videos. I got a new song that I just finished, so I'm editing that up, and that's probably going to be coming out soon. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day.
Yo, I got some shit to say. I miss the old days, coming on the track and I'm spitting the cold case. No more stressing, full of worries, just vibing the whole day. No more planning shit to do, we just drive to the old lake. Meet up with the homies and vibing the whole way. All I say is shit that counts, but I know that we all great.